of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing.
Katt Williams just unleashed on Shannon Sharpe after ESPN dropped him, and trust me, he ain't sugarcoating a thing. Katt straight up said it's tough to feel bad for Shannon when he spent years handing out UNC wisdom, only to fall victim to the oldest setup in the game. ESPN pulled the plug and cut every tie with Shannon right after he quietly settled that jaw-dropping $50 million lawsuit with OnlyFans model Gabriela Zuniga. And here's the wild part. Katt had already seen this storm coming. He literally sat across from Shannon on Club Shay Shay and gave him the warning face-to-face, clear as day. Katt made it clear, chasing white women could leave Shannon wide open for trouble. Even Monique backed it up, dropping some real advice straight to him. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you. Damn, that was a warning. But Shannon brushed it all off, and now look, no job, reputation in shambles, and scrambling just to save face. Instead of playing it cool, Shannon dropped a fat settlement on that model and got dragged through every headline imaginable. To make it worse, ESPN chopped him off quick. And let's be real, what serious network is gonna risk hiring a guy whose biggest headline screams lawsuit drama? Katt Williams is laughing now, basically saying, "I told you so." People close to Shannon aren't cutting him slack either. They're saying UNC had it all and ruined it by being reckless. One insider even revealed Katt didn't warn Shannon about white women for no reason. Katt already knew he was creeping with that young OnlyFans model long before the lawsuit went public, and he spotted the setup coming from miles away. Katt played it slick, making it sound like he was talking about Jonathan Majors, but truth is, every word was aimed right at Shannon. That just proves, once again, Katt might crack jokes, but he never lies. Shannon just refused to hear it. What's even wilder is Shannon cut a multi-million-dollar check to that OnlyFans model, thinking the payout would smooth things over and protect his career. But ESPN still slammed the door on him and showed him the exit. And let's not forget, that OnlyFans model walked away with the real win in this mess. Just 24 hours after that massive settlement hit the news, Gabriella shocked everyone by quitting OnlyFans. She jumped on Instagram and announced, "Today, I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me for the past few years. This community has given me a life I could never have imagined." She added that she'll stay active on socials and has new projects lined up that she's truly excited to share. Translation, she doesn't need OnlyFans anymore. Shannon basically retired her for life. This woman walked away with generational wealth off a messy fling with a 50-year-old ex-athlete. You can't make this story up. It's straight out of a Hollywood script. Nobody's letting Shannon slide on this. It's not just that he got finessed by this model. Fans are pointing out the hypocrisy too. This is the same man who once bragged he'd never let his own daughter's wedding budget go over $30,000. Yet leaked texts exposed him dropping $25,000 a pop just to sneak around with that OnlyFans girl. Fans on X dragged him mercilessly for it, calling him out for wasting cash on cheating while penny pinching his own family. People are saying this whole mess had to happen just to show how hypocritical Shannon really is. Whatever little respect he had left, gone. Imagine being ready to hand an ex-worker millions, but when it came to his own daughter, he capped her wedding budget at $30,000. Fans weren't quiet either. One user posted, "Shannon Sharpe has done plenty wrong, but finding out he was cheap with his daughter's wedding really made me side-eye the hell out of that country bumpkin. You dropped more money on a young white girl who only saw you as a payday. How dumb can you be?" And if that wasn't humiliating enough, right after he cut that $1 million deal with Gabriella, ESPN came down hard and officially cut him loose. ESPN didn't even put out a statement. They just went ghost. People magazine reached out for comment, but ESPN flat out refused to speak on Shannon. When Shannon finally broke his silence on July 30th during the Nightcap podcast, he tried to play it cool, saying he was at peace with the decision, but then admitted he had begged ESPN to hold off on announcing his firing. He pleaded with them to wait until after his older brother, Sterling Sharpe, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shannon confessed he even apologized to Sterling, knowing his lawsuit scandal and firing would completely overshadow his brother's milestone moment. But ESPN and Disney didn't care one bit. They shut him down cold and ignored his request. When Shannon finally spoke, his words showed just how crushed he really was. "Oh, we get started. Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shannon explained he wanted the spotlight to be on Sterling and their family, not his scandal. He admitted he knew this firing news would overshadow everything Sterling had worked for his entire life. Shannon said he even apologized nonstop to his brother, but Sterling brushed it off and told him, bro, stop apologizing. Still, the damage was already done, and Shannon knew it. Shannon recalled Sterling's words, "You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm gonna love you regardless. We all make mistakes. Bro, I love you, so I'm done with this. You done with it too? Move on." Those words hit hard, but Shannon still carried the weight. He admitted he truly loved his run at ESPN, saying it gave him the stage to grow in front of millions. Fans watched him shout, "Lakers in 5," and crack all those wild analogies inspired by his grandparents, and he was proud to bring that raw personality to TV. Shannon stressed how grateful he was for the platform, but deep down, he wished things ended differently. He said they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that.
Just saying, it's a crazy time. You can't afford not to like black people. You don't like black people enough, you could become one yourself. I'm not the only black man with a bunch of money.
You see, it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual assault.
Right.
It's them young ones that come.
Yes.
That'll do what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I've been dependent. I pay my bills.
Right.
I pay the cost to be the boss. You the boss.
But I just wish, guys, leaving everyone hanging on what he couldn't bring himself to finish. Shannon poured his heart out saying, "I just wish this thing could have waited until Monday because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame." And this is what the headline's gonna be for the next couple of days. He admitted Sterling told him not to apologize, but Shannon still couldn't stop himself. "I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero, you've been my role model from as long as I can remember, and I apologize." Shannon then turned to his fans, thanking them for always riding with him. "I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap." His voice carried both regret and gratitude, knowing his downfall became his brother's shadow. And here's what makes this whole downfall even crazier. Shannon was this close to signing a monster $100 million deal before that lawsuit blew everything up. He was in serious talks for a podcast empire deal that would have packaged all his She media shows together. Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and even Humble Baddies. Front Office Sports even reported on April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriella filed her lawsuit, that Shannon was expected to lock in a deal worth over $100 million. But now, not only is that dream deal gone, Shannon's also lost his ESPN seat and completely torched any shot of working under Disney's massive umbrella ever again. We're talking ESPN, ABC, Hulu, basically every major network under Disney's roof. And once you get a public stain this ugly, it's almost impossible to bounce back in those circles. All those projects that could have turned Shannon into a podcast mogul, that ship sank the moment he tangled himself up with a 19-year-old white girl. Which circles us right back to Katt Williams. He said it best. Nobody's feeling bad for Shannon. He had the power, the money, the opportunities, and he threw it all away, chasing reckless choices. But what do you think? Was this downfall all Shannon's fault, or was ESPN too quick to cut ties and toss him aside? And here's the kicker. Shannon's downfall didn't just cost him ESPN or that $100 million media empire. It also scared off every sponsor lined up to cash in on his brand. Major companies that were once eager to throw money behind his shows have now gone silent, pulling deals and leaving him scrambling. One insider even claimed the lawsuit was the final straw for partners who already felt uneasy about his reckless lifestyle. Now Shannon's left with nothing but burned bridges and a wrecked reputation. So how do you feel about Shannon dropping millions on that OnlyFans model while putting his own daughter on a strict budget? Drop all your thoughts in the comments. We're reading every single one. Smash that like, hit subscribe to the Gossip channel, and don't miss the next wild breakdown.